Before I introduce this coming session, I wanted to make sure that you all are aware that up here on the table we have two very useful publications. One is like the Tuberculosis Diagnostic Landscape JID supplement that includes all of the TPPs that have been also published by the WHO, and a more recent document, the market opportunities for these novel TPPs in the BRICS countries, so BRICS minus Russia. So please feel free to grab a copy for yourself. So thank you very much for coming in and quietening down now. It's my pleasure to introduce the next session. And okay, I have just to work this out. So the next session, as Jim had already announced, is going beyond diagnostic accuracy and improving TB health outcomes. And what do we want to touch upon in this coming session? I think the last 5 years, we have learned a lot. We have learned that novel tests can be introduced and can really reach patients where with novel diagnostics where we currently have where we haven't reached them yet. We have also identified, I think, novel needs in diagnostics and have put these down on paper with target product profiles that have been published by the WHO and also in this document that I just shown you. But I also think we have learned a lot in terms of diagnostic needs, new technologies that are necessary. In terms of health systems issues, there's lots of issues that we have learned around delays to presentations, health systems weaknesses, linkage to treatment, the impact of empiric treatment, and also what we need to do, and we heard a little bit about it this morning, to really get tests out there and to get them out there more rapidly. So ideally that this curve that you see up here, which is the one for the Cepheid expert MTB RIF, is going to be steeper and patients are going to get more access quickly. So I think for all of those learnings from those last 5 years, we're now ready to translate into the introduction of novel diagnostic tests. And the most important thing, I think, there is not to focus only on technology, innovation and introduction, but all of the aspects around it that are necessary to really get to a comprehensive solution and that addresses the learnings that we have made from the last 5 years. And the coming session over the next 2 hours will address some of the novel diagnostic tests that are in the pipeline, and will address some of the specifics around the needs that are required to really get a diagnostic test out there and to have it have impact. And with that, I want to introduce the first speaker. So the first speaker will be Jim Gallardo. You heard him already earlier, a senior officer at Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation with huge experience in the diagnostic landscape, particularly around blood-based diagnostics for HIV and hepatitis and I think West Nile virus. So Jim is going to talk about going beyond the probe-based diagnostic tests that I think our last 5 years of development have focused on. Then we'll go broader into the diagnostic landscape. What does it take to translate technology into practice, into impact? A little bit more about target product profiles and the changing needs. And then we'll talk about one novel technology, specifically sequencing, and where the development there is going. And then at the end, or not at the end, but for the second part, we'll have an overview over a number of other new developments, short overviews, otherwise we wouldn't be able to fit all of them here. But I think exciting novel diagnostic test developments. And then Madhu will come on at the end to challenge all of them in a panel discussion that will try to address the aspects of a solution introduction beyond the diagnostic test alone. So with that, Jim, can I please ask you to come up?